everybody, welcome back to Talking Wolves here for another transfer rumours and gossip update here. Hopefully you guys are doing well. Make sure you hit the like button down below, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and of course thank you guys so much for the support so far this summer. Plenty more transfer news and gossip coming up. Obviously I did a video a few days ago about my top 5 free agents Wolves should maybe take a look at this summer, but today we're going to be talking a little bit of transfer news. I think it's been a couple of weeks since the last time we've done this, but before we kick off, make sure you go and check out our channel sponsors over at OneFootball, a really good football app out there. If you haven't got one or you don't use one already, a link to it is in the top of the description down below. You can select certain teams to follow. You get all the live scores when the season and pre-season is back up and running, and your live football news and transfer rumours as well. So make sure you go and check that out down below. But today we have got some new transfer news, some new updates and new gossip to share with you guys. As always, let us know in the comments what you think of all this gossip. Obviously, Wolves as well have announced a new sponsor. It's ManBetX, current sponsor of Crystal Palace as well. Wolves have paid out the sponsorship with W88 and gone with a new sponsor. I mean, the logo doesn't look fantastic on shirts. I think it looks a lot better on a darker shirt, but I'm not too sure what it looks like on a home shirt. But it seems like it sounds like a good deal for Wolves financially anyway. But in terms of transfers, some big links this week with another Mexican player, Edson Alvarez. The 21-year-old currently plays for Club America over in Mexico, the club that Raul Jimenez started his career at. A new report in the last day or so from Medio Tiempo has said that the Mexican international has a release clause of around $10 million US. It comes in at around £8 million pounds, which is not a bad deal for, if you think about it. He's quite a versatile player. He can play defensive midfield. I think he could play a little bit of right back as well. For that £8 million for a player with that versatility and that at that age as well, I think that would be a very, very good deal for Wolves. I think it was reported initially on Monday by a journalist over in Mexico that Wolves were interested in Alvarez. And obviously it's gone on a little bit more with different outlets reporting it as well. I asked a Mexican football fan, someone that has actually watched a few Wolves games this season due to Raul Jimenez. I asked him, what is he like as a player? Because I assume not a lot of us have seen what he's like, where he can play. So I just asked for thoughts on him, and he said Edson is a nice player. Basically plays a right back, defensive midfield and even central defence. Personally, I like him as a defensive midfielder. He has good skills of recovering the ball. During the last time he and his team conquered Liga MX, or the Mexican League, he was used as a box-to-box midfielder. However, last semester, or last season, he suffered injuries and lost his place in the starting lineup, and fame came too easy for him as he tended to be distracted by girls and money. In regards to whether he would cope with English football, he would need to cope with the physical toughness and speed. He can do it for sure, but he'll have to train a lot under Nuno's system. He believes Jimenez had much more success due to him already playing with the likes of Benfica and Atletico Madrid, and he was already sort of had a grip of European football. He thinks he might be a little bit expensive due to a new contract. Obviously, I saw in that report they said about his release clause, so I'm hoping that's in his new contract, that £8 million, rather than his existing contract that he had before he signed last year. A lot of the time when there are, a club thinks there is going to be a lot of interest in a player, they tend to obviously renew the contract with the idea of selling him on for a higher price. I think Wolves have done that a number of times as well. It's just how it goes anyway. But Edson Alvarez is definitely one to keep our eyes on. Let me know your thoughts on him in the comment section down below. The story with young Rafael Camacho is continuing as well. I've reported this a couple of times in old transfer videos. If you've not caught them before, basically 19-year-old Rafa Camacho currently plays for Liverpool. Had a couple of first-team games for them, most notably against Wolves in the FA Cup. And he's been towards really with Jurgen Klopp. A few months ago, he actually, Liverpool have been playing him in a defensive position like a right back, but a few months ago he played as a winger in one of their under-23s game and bagged a hat-trick, and had a little to do on Instagram saying, if you actually play me as attacker, this is what I can do. So I don't think he was overly impressed with playing as a flat right back really, but it's been going on for a few months that Wolves have been interested, whether that's because he's Portuguese and so on, but there have been lots of reports linking Wolves to Camacho. And most recently, Football Insider have said that Wolves have offered the Portuguese youngster a 5-year contract. There is still interest from the likes of Sporting, Leipzig and Dortmund in Germany as well. But Wolves are still the front runners, so that is definitely one that we should keep our eyes on, Rafa Camacho, because that one has been around for a number of months. The Old Faithful as well, Andre Silva has come back. The rumours are continuing, but this time, I don't know, it seemed a little bit more solid and concrete, and loads of Twitter accounts and a lot of the press jumped on this one as well. It was from Gazzetta dello Sport over in Italy, who are explaining that Milan are definitely looking to sell this summer to move Andre Silva on. They're looking for around 30 million euros, still only 23 years of age, and they're now saying Wolves are in pole position to land him. I think, you know, this one's been going on a while, very similar to the Anderson Talisca one last year, which we just couldn't seem to get rid of. But Andre Silva is back. We're even linked with him in the Championship days, so it's been going around for like almost 2 years now. I mean, he struggled a lot in his first year at AC Milan. Did very well at Porto. I'm not 100% sure if it was under Nuno. I think it might have been under Nuno actually. And he did very well there. Moved on to AC Milan. Struggled in the league, but did very, very well in the Europa League. And most recently had a loan move to Sevilla as well. We had a couple of decent months, but couldn't quite live up to the expectations. I think £30 million is still a big risk. It's still a lot of money, even for a club like Wolves, who we know have that sort of financial backing, but I think it's a very big risk. We did a poll on Twitter. Would you like to take Andre Silva at Wolves next season, or do you wish the rumour would just go away? I put 3 options to this: sign him up, loan him with an option to buy, or no thanks. We had almost 1,400 votes on this one. Sign him up, got 38%, which came second in behind loan with an option to buy, which had over half the vote, and 10% of the votes were no thanks. So that'll be an interesting one to keep an eye out for. I think Wolves do need depth in the attacking options, but Andre Silva, is he the man to do it? Let me know in the comment section. Again, another old rumour that piped up again over the last few days is Napoli midfielder Amadou Diawara. The 21-year-old is still struggling to break into the Napoli team, and Carlo Ancelotti is supposedly looking to move him on. I think, personally, this would be a great signing for Wolves, but again, it's the money. I think Napoli are going to be demanding a high amount for the youngster, and, you know, 21 years of age, really talented midfielder. They're going to be wanting a lot of money for that one. But a few reports in Italy claiming that one again. Is that because it was an easy link back in January that Wolves are interested? Who knows? And another 2 on existing rumours as well. Harry Wilson, who we reported a couple of weeks ago, Football Insider said that Liverpool would require a £4 million loan fee if Wolves were looking to loan Harry Wilson rather than buy him. It's rumoured that Jurgen Klopp might not be ready to sell the youngster this summer, who had a pretty good season with Derby. And they were looking for a £4 million loan fee if he would be to leave the club on loan. And a few people sort of, well, didn't understand why there's such a big loan fee for this. But I think you'd rather pay the £4 million and Wolves say, right, we'll sign him for 25 million, and he's no good. So I think if Wolves can get a £4 million loan fee and then just get a reduced cost with an option to buy, that's how it would work. Harry Wilson, in comparison to someone like James Maddison a couple of years ago in the Championship, they've got very, very similar attributes and very similar stats. So I think, you know, that's potentially the route that we've got to look at. And if he's a loan deal, we're fairly risk-free. Obviously, you're paying for the privilege a little bit, but I think that would be a good signing. And Salomon Rondon as well, a little update on him. Tim Spears over at the Express and Star last weekend said Wolves are still the front runners for the current West Bromwich Albion striker, but we are a little way off any options, any deal at the moment. There was another one as well saying that he wants a little bit too much money, more than what Wolves are looking to give him as well. But not seen much on that yet, but just heard a little whisper of that yesterday. Wolves are also looking for a few younger options for competition for Jimenez as well, which is what we've heard there. But guys, loads of rumours there. Let me know in the comment section down below which ones take your fancy. A lot of those are existing rumours that have been refreshed or we're getting updates on. There are a couple of new ones. That Mexican one, Alvarez, looks the most likely at the moment, with a few tabloids and papers jumping on that one, especially in Mexico. So let me know your thoughts on that one down below. Subscribe to the channel if you're new, guys. As always, hit the like button as well, and hopefully I'll see you all very soon for another transfer update. See you later.